My entire childhood unraveled instantly after receiving funeral invitations addressed directly from my biological father. I grew up believing my dad adopted me shortly after birth because my biological father supposedly abandoned my mother completely. That story shaped everything about our family identity. My dad proudly treated me exactly like my younger siblings, and I honestly respected him endlessly for choosing fatherhood voluntarily. Last year, an unfamiliar lawyer mailed me funeral paperwork requesting attendance because I was listed among immediate surviving relatives. Confused, I called the office expecting administrative mistakes, but the receptionist casually confirmed the deceased was my biological father. Apparently he'd spent years attempting contacting me unsuccessfully before dying from cancer. I confronted my parents immediately, assuming they'd explain complicated misunderstandings somehow. Instead, my mother completely broke down and admitted the abandonment story was mostly fabricated. According to her, my biological father actually wanted involvement initially, but my dad threatened leaving if she maintained contact with her ex-boyfriend after discovering the pregnancy timeline overlapped relationships. Rather than risk becoming a single mother again, she agreed cutting him off permanently and eventually constructed the abandonment narrative repeatedly until it became family truth. My dad defended himself by insisting he raised me while the other man disappeared eventually anyway. That might have been true later, but learning my entire origin story was strategically manipulated made me question literally every childhood memory afterward. The funeral itself felt surreal beyond description. Strangers approached me sharing stories about a man I genetically resembled but never truly knew. His sister handed me photo albums proving he quietly followed my life through mutual acquaintances for decades. He attended my high school graduation secretly from the back row. I still haven't emotionally processed that detail. What complicated everything further was discovering he never married or had other children. Part of me wonders whether losing contact with me permanently damaged his life trajectory more than anyone admitted. Meanwhile, my relationship with my parents became painfully strained because every conversation now carries underlying resentment and guilt simultaneously. I don't hate my dad because he genuinely loved and raised me consistently. But I also can't ignore that both parents stole informed choices about my own identity for 30 years. Last month I finally completed genetic testing and met 2 cousins from my biological father's side. Looking at people sharing my face unexpectedly felt both comforting and deeply upsetting. Sometimes grief becomes stranger when mourning somebody you technically never met yet somehow lost anyway.